Hey guys, good morning. So before the start of this video, I just wanted to make something very clear. This video is only advice. I am not a licensed electrician, and the advice that I'm giving is what I did on my home. Okay, you guys can choose to listen, digest, follow it or not, doesn't matter. But I always try to help the community out and save them hundreds and hundreds of dollars. As I said before, this is only advice. Also, one more point I would like to make. During the video, depending on the size of your breaker, as per NEC code, you're supposed to use 80% of the breaker's capacity, okay? I kept on saying 20%. The reason why is I was just doing an extra step in my head to come to the same number. So, for instance, my breaker is a 60 amp breaker. 80% of 60 is 48, which means that my charger is going to run at 48 amps because it's hardwired, okay? But if I had a 50 amp breaker on the system, okay, if I had a 50 amp breaker on the system, 80% of that would be 40 amps. What I was saying was 20%, which means 20% of 50 is 10, and then I would take the 50, subtract the 10, and that's how I would get to 40. It's literally the same answer. I just worded it wrong. I just wanted you guys to know that so you're not confused. All right, on with the video. Good morning, fam. Welcome back to the channel. And today, as I promised before, I'm going to be showing you guys my setup for my Apex Mach 2. It's a level 2 charger. You could pick this up on Amazon, and you know, I've reviewed this charger on Amazon. I've spoken to the guys many times from Apex, and what a fantastic charger you can get. From the previous video I did, this is my wife's Vinfast VF8 Plus. This car has been freaking nothing but awesome to us since we got it in late August. And as I said before, I wanted to show you guys the setup for this level 2 charger. And guys, just in case you're wondering, anybody in New York, this charger can qualify. It's for like a $200 rebate. So, and I got it. So, you know, I mean, it came out pretty good. This charger will run you roughly around, I think it's on Amazon right now on sale for like $320. You know, I mean, with tax, you might pay somewhere around, you know, anywhere from, you know, $330, $340 or whatever the case might be. And don't quote me on that, but somewhere roughly around there. And you can get it, you know, depending if you have Prime or whatever, you can get it in 2 days, sometimes next day. It all depends on your area. We've been using this charger for roughly about 3 months now, and I can't say anything bad about it. The charger works. Right now we're in some seriously cold weather and no issues, and I'll show you a sample of that in a little bit. But guys, as promised, I wanted to show you the setup and installation of the charger. It's a little bit cramped in here today. As I said, it's super cold and it rained, so I'm not gonna pull this boy out. You know, I mean, this car doesn't get rained on or anything like that. So I guess we're just gonna have to just, you know, cram in here. But from the intro, as you can see, I kept all the accessories from the installation. I took the panel apart. Up there you'll see, I'm not going to take that apart, but I do have some video when I first did it, so I'll put that up on the side so you guys can see how I went through the wall and the beams and whatnot, or actually went through the wall and the studs, and now we came out over here. Okay, and I will show you guys everything that you need for this installation, and here we go. Now guys, just want to make this disclaimer, by no way in any means, shape or form, this is electrical advice. I am not a licensed electrician, so, but I'm a pretty damn good DIYer, and you can actually do this as well. Just putting that out there. This is a 200 amp electrical box right here, and if you have the space, you definitely can do this, as long as obviously you're not overloading the box at a certain time by having too many things on that draw a terrible amount of amperage, but this will work. So guys, obviously in the box you have your big Apex charger, and these are some of the accessories I laid out flat on the box right here. As I said, I kept it so that I figured I'd be doing the installation video, you know, sometime in the future, and I wanted to keep it just at least to show you guys what I got in there. So obviously you see this cut NEMA 1450 4-prong plug right here. As per NEC code, guys, that's the National Electricians Code, they can only give you about 3 feet of that connected to the actual charger itself. Okay, so that cord is only 3 feet. It's not that far. So you would have to have a NEMA 1450 outlet, like one of those dryer outlets, close by where you're installing that charger. And I know for a lot of people, especially with an electric vehicle, sometimes, you know, depending on when your house is built or what do you have in your garage or whatever, or outside wall, you might not have a NEMA 1450 outlet, just like I don't. Okay, so there's a couple things that you're gonna need. But before I digress, in the box you have the instruction manual, and guys, I gotta tell you, they do give really good instructions in there. Okay, you have the instruction manual. Okay, you have this little hard wiring instruction kit right here, which is super helpful. Okay, you have 2 RFID cards. These cards come into play. Let's say, for instance, you live in a real shitty neighborhood, and you know there's some people who actually might have the freaking balls to come up and charge their vehicle on your property. Yeah, so you can actually set it up where the only way that the Apex charger will activate is with the RFID cards. Okay, they give you a small Phillips head screwdriver, which is across the way, and they give you this one right here. Okay, this is a very small triangular tip screwdriver, and in the hardware that they give you with the screws and whatnot, they give you a very, very, very tiny screw that you can insert outside on the charger. Okay, not on the charger itself, but where you mount the charger. It's like an anti-theft screw, so somebody can't just rip the charger out and go. Okay, and they give you some circuit breaker labels right here, which is actually pretty cool. I actually have it on my breaker box door, and it's helpful. Okay, also, quick side note, guys, they actually give you guys a nifty NACS adapter. So let's say one of your buddies come over with their Tesla, you hook up your J1772 to this end and plug it into their Tesla. All right, guys, so first things first, you guys know about 3 months ago, we got the VF8 Plus from Vinfast. This car has been nothing but fantastic to us. Love the car. A lot of people, when they see it, they love it too. And as I promised, I'll be showing you guys how I installed this and pretty much what it took. So guys, this is the unit right here. It's pretty much, obviously it's asleep right now, so pretty much this is a nice looking charger. The feel of it, it's nice and smooth. The display, this is about 10 inches, close to 10 inches all around. and the display right here, it looked like a good 4 inches. Okay, it's a nice, bright, beautiful display. Shows that car right here, tells you everything that you need to know. If you're connected to your Wi-Fi, it shows the status, car is unplugged, the voltage is 250 volts, power obviously we're not plugged in, plug and play is enabled. That means there's a Smart Life app, it'll tell you to download, and you can control this box right here from your app. And plug and play pretty much means I can literally take the holster, take it off, plug it right into the car. Okay, now this is where the app comes in, and this RFID card. Notice it looks like a tap to pay symbol. So pretty much, if I disable plug and play, I'm gonna need one of those RFID cards to gain access to charge. Okay, so if you live in a pretty crappy neighborhood, then you know what it is. And then you have obviously the amperage. This is at 48 amps, and you have session. Obviously, guys, session is 0 because we're not plugged in. Now, cool thing, these 2 buttons right here to the side, one of them, it controls the light, as I showed you right here. When you press it, it'll stay solid like blue, okay, which actually at night looks really cool. Okay, now once you plug it in to charge, which I'll show you that a little bit later, once you plug it in, it breathes green off and on, like it pulses. It's actually pretty cool. So now you could select, just press it, turn it off. Now this up here, this button here with the A, that is your amperage button. Okay, so this, if I press it now, it'll cycle from 6, 8, 10, 13, 16, 20, 24, 32, 40, and 48. Now, why is that important? So notice I have it at max at 48. Guys, you can only run it at max amperage if this unit is hardwired straight to your breaker box. Okay, you could only run it at that amount. The amperages as per NEC code, so let's say you had a 50 amp breaker in there. Okay, a 50 amp breaker in there, what'll happen is, as per NEC code, you have to go as per 20% of the breaker's capacity, which means 1/5 of 50, that's 10. So now we're at 40 amps, if you get what I'm saying. So 20% of that 50 amp breaker in the box would give you 40, which means you would have to run this box at 40 amps. Stop, as to not to overload the breaker. You get what I'm saying? So now I have a 60 amp breaker in there, 60 amp double breaker in there. So now that's why I could run 20% of 60, that's why I could run it at 48 amps. You get what I'm saying? Yes? No? Maybe? Hopefully you do. So now, let's say you had a 40 amp breaker in there, okay? 20% of that, now you would have to run the box at 32 amps. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't want to overload the breaker. Can you possibly get away with it? I'm sure you could probably get away with it, but you don't want to overload your breaker and overheat everything, okay? So they give you specific guidelines. And guys, one thing I would tell you, and I left a crazy review on Amazon for them, guys, 24-hour support. You can call these guys at any time and they pick up the phone. It's freaking insane. And I've called them numerous times. Once I called them late at night because I had a question. When I first got it, I was just thinking about it before I installed it. Had a question about that. I called them early in the morning and they answer. Guys are very, very helpful and they're very, very polite. Okay? Now, cool thing about this, okay? Cool thing about this. See that cord right here? 95% of the chargers on the market or on Amazon, just go on there, you will see that they have a 25-foot cord. The Apex charger has a 30-foot cord, which means I could literally swap places with my truck and this car. I could have my truck up to the garage and pull this car right up to the truck and it'll reach, because I've done it before. That 30-foot run comes in handy because depending on where you mount this, or depending on where your situation is, like depending on the side you mount it or where you mount it, on your, in front of your garage or in your house or wherever, guys, you need that extra 5 feet. Comes in handy, believe me when I tell you. Okay. And one of the cool accessories that they have, that they give you with this, is this holster. Now guys, I've seen people commenting saying that the holster is not enough. Guess what? Look, mine works. What you have to do is you can't wound the cord tightly, like in a small circumference over the holster where now you need more. Now it bunches up. That's why I have mine's kind of loose, if you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, you have it hanging a little bit lower, and it would help you out greatly. You could also install like some accessory hooks that you can get on Amazon or Lowe's or whatever and do it. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. And they have this pretty cool dust cap. So like if you don't use the holster or something like that, there's this pretty cool dust cap you can use, which is very weather resistant. So, you know what I mean? So now guys, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. So now you have your unit right here. You first open it off the box. This is the part right here that I was talking about earlier. They only give you, as per NEC code, for the NEMA 1450 plug. So that's what I'm saying. If I had a plug out here, this would have been great and I wouldn't have had to worry. Or if I was installing it inside of my garage and I had a NEMA 1450 plug right here, that would have been fantastic. But guess what? I don't, and most of you are not gonna have it. Okay? It's very convenient to have something like that, and guess what? I don't have it. So guess what? Now you're gonna need to buy some stuff, and I'm gonna tell you right now, all you're gonna need to spend at most, I would say, is probably like around $150 extra. So this costs me on Amazon right now, I think it's $319 or $320, and you're gonna be spending an extra $150 if you're doing this yourself. And I'm telling you right now, that is pretty damn good compared to what it's gonna cost you to have an electrician come to the house and do it. Now guys, as I said before, this is in no way, shape, or form, I am not an electrician. This is not electrical advice. I'm a pretty damn good DIYer, and I learn pretty fast. And I will tell you, having an electrician do this, it's gonna cost you like about $1,000. But guys, if you know you're not up to the task and you're worried about it, pay the money. You understand what I'm saying? The way you don't have to worry about it. This is, I just wanted to show you guys what I did, so at least it can help out the community. Some people, you know what I mean, they might not have it right now. That's all I'm saying. Okay? But as I said before, I am not an electrician. This is not electrical advice. Okay? I'm just going to show you exactly what I did, and you guys make a decision afterwards. Got it? Cool. So now, if I had a NEMA 1450 plug here, I would just plug it in. But then, obviously, I don't. So there's going to be a couple things that you're going to need. Okay, and I will put it up to the side on the screen so that you guys can see it. Okay, so now see these hooks right here. Okay, these are 3/4 inch 1-hole strap hooks. Okay, those you're gonna need. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. I got like 5 of them, but I only use 4. Okay, you guys are gonna have to figure out how much you need. Okay, now also I got a 60 amp Eaton BR 2-pole circuit breaker right here. Okay, then you're gonna need these beautiful winged wire connectors. Guys, definitely get the ones with the wings because they help. These I got, make sure you get them for 6-gauge wire. I can wound either 3 12 gauges in these or 2 6-gauge wire strands. Okay, so I got 3 of those. Maybe, I don't know how much the package comes with, whatever it comes with, but all I needed was 3. Okay, then you got the junction box right here. You're gonna need 1 junction box. You know what I'm saying? Then the junction box cover. All right, so guys, obviously it's freaking galvanized steel, you know what I mean? So it's not hard at all. And I got these 3/4 inch die cast it's these snap-in connectors. Guys, these things are freaking cool, okay? So you see this right here? Okay, so you pop out one of the rings right here. It snaps in, it presses in, okay? And then once you run your wire through it, and you can hold it down so it doesn't move. Guys, this thing is actually pretty damn cool, okay? So get 2 of those. You're gonna need them, okay? So once again, guys, this is a 60 amp breaker, okay? And what I was doing, guys, I was saying it wrong before, but as per NEC code, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna state that at the beginning of the video. What I was doing was saying that 20% of the breaker's capacity. But what I was doing was I was taking 20% of 60, which is 12, okay? And subtracting the 12 from the 60 to get 48. But as per NEC code, they limit the charger's current. It has to be 80% of the circuit breaker's capacity. So if you do 80% of 60, you're gonna get 48. We're both getting the same number. I was just doing it differently in my head because I know what to do, okay? So the magic number, it's 80% of whatever breaker's capacity. You get what I'm saying? That's what I was doing. Like say for instance, 80% of this is gonna be 32. So let's say if you had a 40 amp breaker in here, you would have to run that charger and set it to 32 amps, okay? If this was a 50 amp breaker right here, okay, like this one, okay, you would have to run it at 40 amps. So 80% of 50 is 40. What I was doing was I was doing 20%. So 1/5 of 50 is 10, and then subtracting the 10 from 50 to get 40. I was just going an extra step in my head. But as per NEC code, it's 80% of the breaker's capacity. I kept on saying 20 because of I was just doing an extra step in my head. So sorry about that. All right, guys. So wanted to show you here without any shadows. So obviously this is the directions right here. And over here, they give you this wall mount template, okay? What you have to do is find exactly where you want to put this, okay? And you have to make sure you have like studs or something behind the wall, okay? And make sure you line this template up exactly where you're gonna want it, okay? Make sure you line it up properly, exactly where you're gonna want it. Now, once you have the template lined up outside, okay? Once you have it lined up outside, okay, and you put it onto the wall, okay? All you really need is two good wood screws into that template. Mark it out where you're gonna put it, and all you need is just, there's an option where you can put 4 screws in there. You might not be able to, okay? So you need 2 good wood screws in there, and that's where you're gonna be putting the actual mounting plate on. So right next to that template, that's where your mounting plate is, okay? So the template is just for you to figure out where am I gonna screw this thing into the wall, okay? And then, bam, right here, they give you the screws and whatnot with it, and then that's when you mount the template. Now, once you mount the template, okay, once you mount the template, like over here, if you could see this, I actually have, so how this beam is right here, this solid beam for the garage, where the stud is behind this siding, okay? Obviously, if you notice, the wall is recessed. It's not the same level as this. This is like 1/2 inch recessed here. So what I did was I had extra wood, okay? And I put the extra wood as a buffer to come out, like build out of the recess, if you get what I'm saying. And then over here, right here, I mounted the template now to that wood, and the wood is mounted to the stud behind the wall, if you get what I'm saying. And look, it's perfectly where it came out and met the wall, this big beam right here perfectly, if you get what I'm saying. So now it's totally stable. You get what I'm saying? Totally stable. All right. So, and also guys, just as a side note, I don't know if you can see it. Okay, do you see that small hole to the bottom over there? See it? That's where that freaking that safety screw, that anti-theft screw goes in there, so people can't steal your shit. Okay, see that hole, right? And now over here, guys, make sure you take a picture of this. Make sure you take a nice clear picture of this, because this is what your electrical company is going to need to give you the $200 credit for having this charger. And right here, if you can see it, if the camera's picking it up, okay, I'm going to take a picture of it so that you guys can see it. But what it says over here, okay, if you have a NEMA 1450 plug, you got to run it at 40 amps. If you hardwire it, 48 amps, okay? It tells you right there. If you're hardwiring it, you can use it at 48 amps, but obviously, guys, it would ultimately depend on the breaker that you're using. Got it? So now, once you get past that mounting, like, you know, where you're gonna set it up, okay? That's where the wiring portion comes in. Now, what I did was I just took off a piece of the sheetrock to show you. See how I put it in? What you're gonna need, guys, is a drill or driver and a spade bit. Okay, that spade bit is gonna get you that nice, beautiful hole right there to run this wire through. Okay? All right, guys, so the next piece of paper that we need to look at that's included in here is this one, where it's literally telling you, obviously, cut off the plug, because we don't have an outlet to plug it into. Okay? Remove the PVC jacket, and then these are your label designations right here. And they give you some of these tubular leads, but I didn't use those, okay? Just so all I needed was these 3 steps right here. And the most important one was this, the designations of the wire, which is hot, which is ground, which is neutral. Obviously there's no neutral. So since this is a double pole breaker, okay, obviously we're gonna need 2 wires, 2 hot wires for it. And they labeled them, the black one is one of the hot wires, and the white is one of the hot wires. And this green is gonna be a ground. So now, if we go to the box, this is a breaker right here. As I said before, guys, if you wanna be ultra safe, shut the whole thing down. Okay, obviously do it at a time where nobody's home or you're not worried about, you know, anything else, if anybody's using any appliances or whatever. Okay, so I ran the black, okay, to this lead right here, ran the white to this lead right here, and the green where all the grounds are, okay, as you can see it right here. So ran it through, came down, split the wire right here, reinforced it, and there we go. Okay, and that was it. And last but not least, guys, so this is the NEMA 1450 wire running from the outside, remember? So this right here is this right here. This is very, very, very stiff type of cable, okay? Which is running right up in here, as you can see. So that wire, remember I cut the head off, which is over there on the box. So now this, last but not least, this is what you're gonna need right here. Okay, I got 13 feet of this SOOW cable. It's a heavy duty, flexible power cable. It's designed for like harsh environments, okay? So the SOOW, okay? So the S that stands for service cord. The 2 O's represent it's either oil resistant and it has oil insulation on it, okay? And obviously the W means water and weather resistant as well. So this right here, it matches, if you look in there, notice the wire. I know this here, it looks thinner than this one, but this one, the insulation jacket is super, super like bulky, okay? But it's still 6-gauge wire. See that wire right there? It matches that one. Okay, so it's a 6-gauge wire. Remember that. All right, what are we going to remember? It's a 6-gauge wire. And I think this is what cost me a lot. It was about $77 or something like that. 13 feet of it, that's what it cost. Okay, So now guys, once everything is tightened down properly, okay, as you can see right here, once you join all your wires properly, okay, and it's very, very simple. The cool thing is this wire that I got from Lowe's, it actually had the same color scheme. You know what I'm saying? So you match up your wires, okay, because guess what? White to white, black to black, green to green, as you see it right here. Okay, match them bad boys up. Okay, use those big wing nuts, and then I added tape to it so nothing can get loose. Okay, super neat. And then I had my daughter throw on the freaking breaker, and it worked perfectly. All right guys, so the moment we all been waiting for right here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a quick example of what it looks like while charging. Okay, so now I'm pretty sure I mentioned it before, but let's say you had a NEMA 1450 plug right here, you plugged it in, the amperage will adjust itself to 40 amps. Okay, that's what happens. Now what happens is, because I've hardwired it to the system, I have to adjust it myself at 48 amps, and it stays like that. Okay, also I'm going to show you how the app works as well. So now once I plug it in into the car shows like gold, and then it should start blinking green, and then you're going to start seeing, yep, there it goes, you hear a little click, and now you'll see the kilowatts start moving up. All right guys, so as you can see, notice the kilowatts start going up, okay, and then it's gonna level out. Okay, so pretty much the charger is working with the car, and the car is working with the charger to see exactly what it needs and how much time it's gonna take and all of that jazz. There we go. So on average, this gives me around, I would say roughly, oh nice, 11 kilowatt hours. Like I would say, now hardwiring, it'll give you that amount, at least minimum of 10. Okay, so at least you're looking at that right here, and it's pretty much showing you like 10.9, 10.8, 10.9 to 11. Okay, shows you the voltage and the session time right here. Okay, now what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to put this screen recording up. This is the Smart Life app. Okay, let me show you that. So now, once you download that Smart Life app, it's going to show you what devices you have on the app. And now you select, obviously, the Apex Mach 2 charger, and you come to this screen right here. Okay, and it's pretty much going to show you exactly everything that you need to see. So now on this section right here, if you go into the settings, you'll see 48 amps, and you could actually go in and mess around with the amperages, okay? And you should be able to see it. Let me just click that switch again. I have to keep that switch active. So let's say I wanted to drop it down to 40 amps on the app. It should be able to do it. I think there was an update to it, and normally you wouldn't have been able to do it, but watch this. Let me hit confirm, and look, it changed real time to 40 amps. And what will happen is in the car itself, it'll actually have to recalibrate the time it's going to take to finish charging. Yeah, it'll have to recalibrate the amount of time, and if you notice, obviously the kilowatts also drop. So let me put this back to 48. Let me not mess around with that too much. But I just wanted to give you zip. As soon as I put it back to 48, notice how the kilowatts went back up. Okay, I'm gonna show you that again. When I put it to 40, watch how the kilowatt hour is gonna drop. Okay, it's only gonna feed a certain amount to the car at 40 amps. Okay, so let me put it back to 48. So we got peak charging going on. Yep, there you go. And it's going to go above 10 to 11 kilowatt hours. All right, Now afterwards on this app, if you click on record, it'll show you like your charging time, like how long it took you, like, you know, what the length of time you use and how many kilowatt hours you used. Okay, and the good thing is, guys, I actually have solar, so this helps me out a lot. Okay, I'm paying like 10 cents a kilowatt, which is like nothing, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even charge, my wife doesn't even charge her car every day. We only plug this in like once a week, so it's actually pretty damn good. Okay, so if you go on the main screen right here, you could see everything that you need to see on this app, and it has here, click to turn the power off. Now you know there's a plug and play button right here. Okay, that plug and play button, if I deselect that, okay, watch this. Oh, I don't think I can, while it's charging I can't do it. What happens is you actually have to do this prior to charging the car. So now once you stop the charge and take the plug out of the car, now if you notice, it says plug and play disabled because I disabled it on the app. Okay, now once I disable it on the app, guess what? Now we're gonna have to get the RFID to charge the car. Let me plug this back in. Okay. Plug this back in. Now, I've never used this before, so let's see. It says here, swipe right to charge. Oh, there we go. So I just tap the card on it, and look, now it's charging. Now it's charging the car. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yes, it's freaking cool. That was cool. Nice. And then obviously it's gonna do its thing, and that's really it. So it's freaking awesome. So now let me just what I'm gonna do is click, stop the charge. Now I can stop it right from the app, as you see right here. Okay, okay, unplug it. I'm gonna put it back on plug and play. There we go. As you can see, plug and play is enabled. Plug it back in, and we are straight. Oh man, that's nice. There we go, click, and it's gonna start up. Oh guys, also real quick, this Lexel Clear Sealant, this thing, I put this right here so that water can't get in. Guys, this thing is freaking, this thing pretty much sticks anywhere. This is this is dope. You can get this from like Lowe's. I'll link it in the description. You can get it on Amazon or Lowe's. It's like around 10 bucks. But guys, this thing is better than freaking caulk. Do not put caulk here. This Lexel thing is like a rubbery cement, and it is freaking durable as heck. We've had tons of rain already, and everything is good. Okay? All right, guys, so definitely like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. I'll list everything that I spoke about in the description of the video. And I hope you found some value from this. I'm glad you guys stuck around hanging out with me. And I will talk to you guys soon. Take it easy.